ਜਿਵੇਂ ਅਕਸਰ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੱਖ-ਵੱਖ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜੋ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਮੈਸੇजेस ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਉਹ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਨਫੋਰਮਡ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੱਖਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸੋ ਜੋ ਅਕਸਰ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੇਕਰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਆਦਮੀ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਵਕਤ ਬੋਲਦਾ ਹੈ ਸੋ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਸੱਚਾਈ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੱਕ ਚੰਗਾ ਵਕਤ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਇਟਸ ਬੇਸਿਕਲੀ ਅਬਾਊਟ ਇਟਸ ਨਾਟ ਦ ਪਰਸਨ but the time talks. That's how it is. That's what I was saying in English. ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਮਹਿਮਾਨ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਡਾਇਨਾ ਸਟੀਲ ਜੋ ਵੈਸੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੋਸਟ ਆਫਟਨ ਵੀ ਇੰਟਰਵਿਊ ਮੈਨ ਇਨ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਪੋਲੀਟੀਕਲ ਸੈਕਟਰ ਤੋਂ ਤੇ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਅੱਛਾ ਲੱਗ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਡਾਇਨਾ ਸਟੀਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ I'm so happy to talk to you today. Welcome to our show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We welcome you. Thank you so much. Sorry about for the mic understanding. I know that we have too many mics in here
No
and sometimes it takes time to reach the right one.
No problem.
So we welcome you. Thank you so much for taking your time.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I know Edmonton's election, municipal elections in Alberta are approaching and everybody's many people are excited to know what change it's coming because Edmonton's people are looking for a good change. So often we see that it's usually the men in the community, they are more in this, and females or women in our society, especially in Edmonton, they're always behind, even in our council. There's hardly any representation. So what would you say about it, and what encouraged you to come for this mayoral race in Edmonton?
Well, I've never been one to sit behind the scenes. I've always been someone who likes to be in a leadership role. I do think that it is sort of a maternal instinct that I have. I like to help people, especially my community. And I have noticed, yes, in politics it's typically men. It's not dominated by women by any stretch of the imagination. And I think it's usually due to the fact that mums are, they're mothers. Women are usually mothers. They're
Right.
at home taking care of their children and focusing maybe a little bit on their career, but they don't have the time to dedicate to their community like perhaps men might. And my children are a little bit older now. They're still 11 and 14, so they're still a little young. But I'm at that phase in my life where I've noticed that our political system is very divided.
Right.
I am not a politician. I'm not affiliated with any political parties at all. So I felt a responsibility to step forward and say, I'm going to offer you a different type of politician. I'm a community leader. I believe in servant leadership. I'm very passionate about this city. So here I am. I am offering
All
myself
fresh
to
start.
you. Yes. And
All fresh.
yeah, a fresh start, and I also believe that we need to keep our municipal government non-partisan. So I'm quite passionate about that. I don't believe that party affiliation belongs in decisions about potholes and infills and things like that. So that's why I'm here.
It's really a really good point, and as you said, as a woman, as a mother, and usually we see that the mothers they know how to run the family from a different angle.
Yes.
To keep everybody together and get the work done.
Absolutely. You have to be peacemaker. You have to see a million different scenarios at one time. You have to be able to make decisions quickly. Every mom on the face of the planet knows how well we multitask.
So how did you decide? Did somebody kind of approached you, or you decided that you know what, I'm going to go for a change in Edmonton?
Well, I've been approached actually by a few people who kept coming forward and saying you really should consider running for something. At that time I had already considered running for councillor. And I was urging another individual to run for mayor. When
Right.
he changed his mind and decided not to run, and he again is very non-partisan, but he decided not to run, and I kind of went into panic mode and thought, well, someone has to stop our system from becoming partisan. So
Right.
if that's not you, then I guess I'll step forward, because I don't want to just complain about it on the sidelines. If I'm unhappy with something, then I will step forward to make the change.
That's great, and what kind of I just want to let my listeners know again. I'm talking talking to Diana Steele, who's going to be she is already in for a mayoral race in Edmonton. So what problems do you see in Edmonton?
Well, first and foremost, coming out of the pandemic, we're still wondering what's going to happen. Are we going into a fourth wave? So will we be dealing with that, right around an election? And then economic recovery as well are big issues because of the pandemic. Saving small to medium businesses is a big priority for me, and letting them have a bigger say in the running of the city. And homelessness is a huge passion of mine as well. I've seen other cities eliminate that. I think we can too. I think it involves working more with private industry rather than we have in the past, and less reliance on the provincial government as well. And figuring out diversity. We are facing more issues we're seeing a lot of racist activity in the city right now, which breaks my heart. Trying to close that divide and making everyone feel welcome and part of our city is a big priority for me.
Thank you so much for answering all that. And I will ask you some questions in a way that there are many services issues in Edmonton. When people compare two big cities in Alberta, Edmonton and Calgary, Edmonton is way far behind.
Yes.
What problems, from your point, you see and how you will address in a way? We have a LRT problem. We have a snow removal issues. We have developers how they developed in Edmonton, and it's developing at this time that creates some problems. Bus service and all that, and even a new speed that's going to be reduced from 50 to 40. So there's so many things people have concerns about. So what concerns are? I know you said homelessness. Is one of them. But taxpayers, they're looking for many services, many changes with which they're looking forward to see a change.
Yes.
So what kind of changes are going to be on your priority list to work in Edmonton?
One of the big things I keep thinking about because you've just listed a bunch of issues, right? There are multiple issues. I feel like we've maybe lost our way a little bit. We are focusing on so many things, and a lot of them aren't even actually provincial. Homelessness municipal. Homelessness should be a provincial concern with a little bit of municipal interaction as well, but primarily that is a provincial issue. So, there are lots of and mental health, that's another one, a big concern for me. The community is suffering with mental health concerns. It should be a provincial issue, but I do feel like the city has something to say about that as well. But for me, I just feel like we've lost our way. We need to find our way back to municipal concerns, like you said, bus services and developer concerns and the LRT, things like that, and just sort of sit down with all of the councillors, the new team, and figure out, okay, what are our priorities for the next 4 years that really impact day-to-day life for Edmontonians, and figure out how we can solve those issues for them. Because I just heard about a gentleman who's in the hospital because of a sidewalk issue.
Right.
And he's injured himself because he was in a wheelchair and he couldn't get around it, and then he fell out of his wheelchair. I don't want things like that to happen. So, I think we've lost our way. We need to find our way back to the main issues that affect Edmontonians.
The other big issue people usually address, because we do have some city talks and here on the radio too, one thing is a disconnection from the council with the Edmontonians. That's a big time, even from our mayor, even from all the council. They don't come out and talk to people, and people try to reach out to them, and there's a less connectivity somehow with them, that there's a less connection. They can kind of reach them.
Yes.
So what is your say on that?
Well, I'm the opposite. I am way too transparent. So I have, I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm the president of Crestwood Community League, and when we went into COVID, I started making videos every day to reach out to the community, because we went into a lockdown. There were people who lived on their own and felt lonely. I am about to reach 500 videos now. I've made them every single day. I let people into my life, my good days and my bad days, how I was handling COVID, if I was having a great day or not. I put my phone number out on the internet as well, and my email address. People call me all the time. They phone me all the time, and that won't change. So my biggest concern is probably city administration will be thinking she talks too much. She tells Edmontonians way too many things, but we're a city of 1 million people, and if I am lucky enough to be elected mayor of Edmonton, I will be leading a city of 1 million people. We will be a team together. So I will be keeping you guys in the loop like I would with my family. You know, if you're a mom of a family, you're telling your children and your husband what's going on in your life. You've got a calendar that everybody pays attention to. The city will be the same way for me. Everyone will know what is going on. What are we talking about? What issues are we trying to solve? And what some ideas are that we have. And then also including the city as partners as well, and making sure you guys feel like you have a voice.
So you said you're going to be more transparent.
Very transparent.
Everything
yes.
should be upfront with the people of Edmonton.
Yeah.
So they will see that. And then on the other hand is when you see the other candidates too, some of them, they have years of experience
Yes.
with city council, even federally too.
Yeah.
So how do you see yourself in that situation with all those people there?
Well, first of all, Edmonton has a very difficult decision ahead of them. They
Right.
have lots of great choice. Yes, there are people with really great experience, lots of former councillors. As you said, we've got a former cabinet leader there. We have some amazing business people on
Right.
running as well. But I come from it from a different perspective, or come at it from a different perspective. I'm a community leader. As I've said before, I believe in servant leadership, so I am here for you and to help make decisions that are best for the city, and I have no political aspirations further than just being the mayor of Edmonton. I don't want to build up a wonderful portfolio so that I can go on and become the premier or the prime minister of Canada. Those are not my intentions. It's simply to get Edmonton on the right track, let Edmonton feel like they have a voice, and then move on.
So that's a really, really good point you addressed, that you're going to be working for city and for city of Edmonton. It's not you're taking city as a stepping stone.
Correct. No, not at all.
Okay. So we will have lots of other questions too before the commercial break. I'll ask you, as you mentioned, your website, your phone number, people can contact you, they can talk to you, they can address the issues. Can you let my listeners know what are those?
My phone number, 780-918-4780. And my email address is Diana, Diana, Steele, Steele, @shaw.ca. And my website is just dianasteele.ca.
ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਫੀਮੇਲ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਨੇ ਫॉर ਮੇਅਰ ਵਾਸਤੇ Diana Steele, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਹਾਜ਼ਰ ਹੋਈ ਹਾਂ. Welcome back in the show. And we have many questions for you. And first of all, I know some candidates are already door knocking. What is your plan and how are you reaching out to people?
Our plan is to start door knocking in end of August, beginning of September. We do find that while people are engaged, those people who are politically engaged already know who the candidates are.
Right.
And a lot of people are not actually thinking about an October election yet. So I don't want to knock on their door, and I'm trying to find that sweet spot between not irritating anybody but also getting my name out there. So
Right.
I do a lot of social media advertising right now, a lot of billboard advertising to get my name out there. We're not doing lawn signs because we don't want to contribute to the landfill issue, but we're trying to get it out there electronically right now, and then we'll start with face-to-face in September when a little more people become engaged in the election.
That's awesome. Thank you for answering that. And another thing is, as you mentioned, that the signs are there. How expensive it is? Is it because sometimes it's the politics is thought to be for many people like it's getting out of reach. So is it, and enough people are supporting you? You're getting enough donation, or how's it working?
Well, so this is the other problem. I was told that in order to win an election, you had to spend somewhere in the region of $500,000 to $1 million.
Really?
And that's why I'm here as well, to change the game. So my goal is to spend a maximum of $20,000.
Okay.
So far, I've spent $8,000. And I'm already, I'm not falling too far behind anyone else. And I know they're already in the hundreds of thousands, the other candidates. So I'm hoping to show, wouldn't it be funny if I could win the election having spent a fraction of a cost,
Right.
the cost of what other candidates have spent? That's kind of my goal. And as for people supporting me, yes, I don't have all the donations I need yet. So if, someone were to fall in love with me to say, I really want to support you, I would would welcome their donations as well. But it's tough. I mean, there's so many candidates right now in the election, and we're all asking Edmontonians for money.
So that's going to be a good change in a way that,
Yes.
election can be done under, certain budget instead of $500,000 or $1 million. That's very, and it's most of the people who wanted to make a change, they won't go forward because they don't have that much money. So it basically looks like it's changing like how U.S. election is. You got to have millions, billions of dollars to
Yes.
go for that.
And that makes it out of reach for the average citizen. And we have so many talented, wonderful people in the city who would never be able to raise $500,000 to run.
And the other thing I'm going to ask you too, Edmonton, with the province and with the federal funding and all that, we get that. So what is your plan if you get elected as a mayor for Edmonton? What will you do first when you go for that position?
First, in regards to what are my first steps, or sitting down with the new council, because it will have turned over quite a bit. There will be a number of brand new councillors. So meeting with everyone and getting to know what their platforms were and what are their passions about the city. What do they want to change? And building a really cohesive team and just making sure that we're all on the same page. We all are, there to support the city. And just, building a really great team.
And working with the province and federally, and you will be okay to work with any governments in both places?
I can, yes. I certainly have my opinions about the provincial leaders at this moment in time, like most people do, but I'm willing to work with anyone and sit down and find ways to compromise if we have to. But I'm here to fight for Edmonton, and so I will do my absolute best to protect this city. I'm born and raised here. I love it. So Edmonton is my number one priority.
Okay, so I'll ask you a question in a way. I know we are interviewing many candidates. We have interviewed some.
Yeah.
So in that way, the people who are listening to this show at this time, how do you convince them? What do you say? What makes you the best candidate for them to vote for you than the other candidate?
Well, as I said, because I'm nonpartisan, I don't have any political affiliation, so I'm beholden to no one. And I'm a servant leader, which truly means that I am here for the people. And because I have no political aspirations and no ego in my way, I'm really just here to do the best that I can for the city, to build the best city that we've ever seen.
Thank you so much, and we will have if you can share your phone number and your website and your email again, so people, if they want to contact you, they can ask you questions and give you their views about the city too.
Absolutely. My number is 780-918-4780. My email address is Diana, Diana, Steele, Steele, @shaw.ca. And my website is dianasteele.ca. And please reach out anytime. Honestly, I mean that. Call, email, anything.
Thank you so much for coming to our studio to share your information with our listeners.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.